everybody. It's Chris from the Evermore podcast, Newcastle United podcast on the Evermore YouTube channel. We're back with another Rumour Has It video. We've got another couple of players to go through here in terms of who have been linked during the transfer window. Window's not even open yet. If you need to be reminded of that, it opens on the 10th. There's so many names being thrown at Newcastle United already. We're just going to try and cover them off just to give people a bit of an update and let you know what we think about those potential deals, whether they're yeses or nos, in kind of our opinion from the Evermore team. Just before I get stuck in, a little bit of housekeeping. If you haven't already, please click that like and subscribe button. We've had a load of subscribers recently. We really appreciate that, guys. It's great to have you all on board. Some really nice comments as well. So please keep them coming. Supportive comments and helping the channel grow as well. It's absolutely fantastic. So without further ado, let's get stuck into these two players. So the first one I'm going to cover off is a name that probably should be quite familiar to us, because once upon a time he was at Newcastle United, and it's Ivan Toney. Now, Ivan Toney last season had an absolute belter of a season for Brentford. Now, I'm very unsure about this lad, and I'm going to get into the reasons why in a second. But a lot of people have been shouting for Ivan Toney to come back to Newcastle United. A lot of people think it was a mistake when we got rid of him. I think we got rid of obviously him and Adam Armstrong in a really short period of time. We don't seem to progress young strikers at this club. It's been a major issue for a long, long time. Hopefully Dan Ashworth coming in, getting a hold of the club behind the scenes can sort that out, because God knows we need a good young centre-forward coming through the ranks here, because we have not had one in a bloody long time. But looking at the stats for Toney, they do stand out. Last season he's got 33 appearances, 12 goals and 5 assists. He's an absolute nightmare to play against. A lot of the centre-halves were bullied off the ball. He's strong, he's quick. He's got good movement. You can see there his goal scoring return is 0.37 per game. His assists in particular are very good at 0.15. So he's in the 68th percentile of the 5 strikers across Europe from Mark's stat slide there. So you can see he puts in a lot of work there in terms of creating goals, maybe over scoring goals, to be honest with you. He probably creates just as much as he scores. So the pass completions, as you can see there as well, he does make a lot of really good key passes as well. So he does get involved in the play. He isn't just a scorer of goals. Excuse me, I'll have a drink there. My mouth is getting a bit dry talking about Ivan Toney. You'd think I'd like him the way I'm celebrating about him. But yeah, you can see the heat map there at the top. He obviously does get involved in a hell of a lot of the play. He's only had one substitute appearances, so he has stayed fit for most of the game, even though he goes crashing at the challenges. He stayed fit for a long period of the season. The season before that, the Championship, you can see he was on fire. He had 31 goals and 45 appearances, and he had 10 assists as well. So there's a lot of players that come up to the Premier League from the Championship, and there's a lot of players who can't handle that step up. But Ivan Toney looks like he has been able to handle that step up. A lot of those Brentford players have been really, really good. But my reservations on Toney is a couple of reasons. Firstly, I think that Brentford themselves as a club might have a second season syndrome, a bit like Leeds did this season, a bit like Blackpool years before. Your Burnleys, a lot of these teams who come up and they go off and they shoot up like a rocket, and then they have a great first season, and the next season, they don't invest a great deal in the squad. They rely on those players to keep pushing on, and then they regress, and then they end up in a relegation fight. I don't think Brentford will be anywhere near as high next season as they have been this season, and I don't think Toney will have as successful a season at Brentford. Now, obviously, that might mean that he's looking for a move. The reported fee around is 40 million quid. It's too much money for this lad, in my opinion. You need to see what he does next season. If he plays well next season, has that much of an impact next season, well, 100%. 40 million quid is a decent figure for him. He's 26 years old. He's not getting any younger. He's on the wrong side of the 20 mark. Now he's heading closer to the 30 mark. Sounds stupid because he's got a lot of football ahead of him, but I'm not sure that dropping 40 million quid on this lad right now would be the best thing to do. Now, one other issue I have with Ivan Toney, which is probably the issue a lot of people have, is his attitude over his ability. There's no question he's a really good footballer. I question his attitude. I think he's quite arrogant. I think he's quite cocksure. Now, in a centre forward, that can be a good thing. When you look at the likes of Zlatan and even Erling Haaland and these kind of guys, they've got arrogance in spades. But, the thing with Ivan Toney, that whole thing he did on holiday, the fuck Brentford thing, to me, it just doesn't sound like a lad you really want around your dressing room or around your club. I think for all the ability that he's got, he could be a bit of a loose cannon. I think the more success he has, the more it'll go to his head and the more he could potentially become self-destructive. So it's a big no for me. I'm more than happy to see the likes of Ekitike get linked to the club, who seems like a model professional. He's only 19 as well. He's a hell of a lot younger than Toney, and I think the ceiling's probably higher for the likes of Ekitike. Again, these names like Dominic Calvert-Lewin and Ivan Toney, they're thrown out there by the press, potentially is to get a better deal at the current club they're at, or to force other clubs out of the shadows, your Arsenals and and so forth. Even your Spurs, maybe whacking bids in, looking for contingency plans for when, the likes of Harry Kane's injured, or for Arsenal's case, just having a striker that can fucking score a goal. So there could be a little bit of that going on, but for me, if we sign Ekitike, for 30 million quid, which seems to be pretty much close to being a finalized deal right now, Fabrizio Romano's come out and said that. So, for me, if the Ekitike deal goes through, we won't be dropping 40 million quid on Ivan Toney. Calvert-Lewin could be an option, when coming towards the end of his contract, he could be available at a cut price deal. But yeah, for me, I just don't think Ivan Toney is a plausible transfer, in my opinion. For me, I think we should be looking elsewhere. But let us know what you guys think in the comments below. We always appreciate your feedback, and if Toney's one for you, or what you want to stay clear of. So the next player is a player we have been linked to in the past. That is a player who is a very skillful player. Applies his trade in La Liga right now, and that is Nabil Fekir, who is an absolutely fantastic player. He's 28 years old, very skillful, low center of gravity type player. He's like 5'8", very, very good on the ball. You can see, once I get rid of that logo, always catches me out of that. You can see the heat map there. This is a busy player. He is everywhere. He's great on the ball. He's skillful. He's got that low center of gravity. He drops his shoulder. He can do a player. He's got quick feet. He's creative. You can see there, 34 appearances, 6 goals, 8 assists. He's very good from set pieces as well. In the Europa League, 7 appearances, 2 goals, 2 assists. And the season before that, again, steady record as well of staying fit, 33 games, 5 goals, 6 assists. This is a very, very good player. And it's a kind of player that could come in that midfield, almost a bit like the Paqueta situation. But, he's a bit older than Paqueta, so he's a bit more mature. Again, that might put the club off if there's a chance to get Paqueta for 50 million quid. The reported figure of us bidding for Fekir is 35 million, but he's got a 100 million euro get out clause. There's no chance Newcastle United are paying that for this player. He's a decent player, but not dropping 100 million euro on this lad to get him out of his deal. No chance. When you can get Paqueta for 50 million quid, I think that would be the deal that the club would favour over this one. But listen, if you can get this lad in, he's a very, very talented player. Again, bringing these players in, like I said, Moussa Diaby, Paqueta, Fekir, these guys could spell the end of Alan St. Maximin. We have done a video about the reported rumours to Spurs for St. Maximin. Bringing in these talented players who are good with the ball, running at players, creating things, making things happen. It gets that kind of reliance of St. Maximin to not be as important to the club as potentially as it could be, if you bring more of these players in. But again, it's all speculation right now, as is this deal for Fekir. But looking at some of those deals, some of those stats, that Mark's bashed up on the slide, you can see assists-wise, he's in the high percentile, 0.27 assists a game. Key passes is massive there. He's 2.71 key passes per 90 minutes across the top 5 leagues in Europe. So he's the 94th percentile for creating key chances. That is a very, very talented player. And that's a player who knows when to release the ball. And when you've got a striker like Callum Wilson, hopefully staying fit for the majority of next season, this lad could be an absolutely brilliant addition to the squad. Again, with those figures being touted around, Newcastle United and the new owners have obviously been very clear they're not going to have their pants pulled down by anybody. So Fekir could end up being a bit too expensive for us to broker a deal for. If he wants the move, though, he could force the move. We have seen that by players before. He has been linked previously before he went to Betis, I think, a long time ago, I think possibly the Rafa. It never came off. He obviously went to Betis. He's played really well. There's rumours of Real Madrid, I think, sniffing around him. But again, they're skint. They all seem to find money from somewhere. But they appear to be skint at the moment. So, Fekir could just be a name thrown out there at the minute, and it might not be the player that we're after. The Paqueta noise gets louder and louder. There's more noises about that. I know James did a video about it, which is fantastic. Some great views on that. Thank you so much, guys. But it seems to be we're after, guys that can unlock doors. So again, that could play into the fact that maybe the club will listen to offers to St. Maximin if we're going to get 2 or 3 players in that can unlock doors like this. With Diaby, Fekir, Paqueta, those kind of players. Like I say, you wouldn't have to rely on St. Maximin as much. But listen, I still like St. Maximin. I'd love him at the club. I'd love him to grow. He's 25 years old. He's got 3 years on. Fekir there, so we're going to get a lot more and a lot longer out of St. Maximin than we would do with Fekir. So let us know what you guys think in the comments below. If you think Fekir would be a good addition to the squad. The guy's got ability in abundance, and it's great to be linked with these kind of players again. we haven't been for so long, so many years of just mediocrity under Mike Ashley. So it's really exciting times, guys, to be looking at these players. So again, as I mentioned at the start, if you haven't already, please consider clicking that like and subscribe button. We're looking for as many subscribers as we can. I think we're currently in the high 800s, 840 something. If we get to 900, in the coming week, that'll be fantastic. And the goal is to get over that 1,000, and we'd love it if you can get us there as quick as you possibly can. But until now, this is Chris signing off for another Transfer Rumour video. Let's keep supporting the team of Toney United. We'll be back on Wednesday with another Evermore. We're going to be doing a top 10 tune players, so that'll be good to watch. Make sure you check that out, and let us know in the comments below what you guys think about the players that we choose live on a Wednesday as well. So until then, guys, have a good weekend, and we'll catch you later. Thanks now.